Are you thinking about buying a house in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but honestly have no idea where to start? You're definitely not alone. Most buyers think they can just scroll through Zillow to our homes and then do a little bit of things here and there and magically get keys. But honestly, that's actually not true at all. There's a clear process you need to follow, and many people don't really understand the process. So let's find out together. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Moving to Milwaukee channel. Today I'm going to break down a little how to buy a house in Milwaukee step-by-step video so you can avoid mistakes and feel confident the entire way. If you're a first-time home buyer or have never bought a property before and are curious about how it works out and just don't really know exactly where to start or how to go about it, this video is for you. Not everybody does, and I'm going to give you just a simple little step-by-step video on how to do so and even how to navigate Milwaukee's competitive market as is. So with that said, let's waste no time and get right into the steps. The first and obvious step to buying a house in Milwaukee is getting pre-approved by a lender, not pre-qualified. Now let's break down that term real quick, pre-approved. What it means is that a lender has actually reviewed your income, credit, and debts and is giving you a realistic price range on what you can afford in terms of a home. In Milwaukee, sellers usually expect a pre-approval before they even consider your offer. Without it, your offer won't be taken seriously. If anything, might not even be looked at, especially when you're looking in popular neighborhoods or looking into some areas where you might see a little competition in between. Now, I tell all my buyers, it's important to get this step done first or get it done before actually making a move. You can talk price and terms and talk about how much you love the house all day, but at the end of the day, the name of the game is show me the money. So it's best to just get that done ahead of time. And I always say get it first done if you can. A common mistake here is that many people will open new credit, buying a car, or changing jobs right after getting pre-approved. So, which is definitely the opposite of what you should be doing. So in terms of financial guidance, it's always best to talk to your lender first in terms of getting approved for a mortgage. Now the next step on my list here to piggyback off of the first step is to figure out what your real budget is. Just because a lender pre-approves you for a certain amount of money doesn't mean that's what you should spend. Your real budget should include not just the principal and interest payment on the mortgage, your property taxes to the property, an amount for homeowners insurance, not to mention just clean money set aside for utilities and maintenance of the property. Now property taxes in Milwaukee can vary a lot depending on the area, so no two homes on the same block have different monthly payments. Your real budget here is going to include the mortgage payment, which is the principal and interest part of the payment itself, the property tax portion of your payment, which could vary from one property to the next, but is definitely an important factor here, so definitely shouldn't go unnoticed. The homeowner's insurance bill, which it's important to insure all your belongings inside the home as well as the home itself, so that's an important one. The utilities to the property, depending on electric or gas usage, or depending on the property. Some might not necessarily have gas hookups, so it's important to know what sort of money is to be spent on those. Not to mention a certain amount of money set aside for just general costs of maintenance of the property. This could include mowing the lawn, shoveling any snow, or just any little bit of repairs or just upkeep to the home by itself. Now to go back to property taxes, just for Milwaukee specifically, property taxes in Milwaukee can vary a lot depending on the area. So two homes at the same price can have very different monthly payments. Just for you to know. The next step in buying a home is to hire a local real estate agent. This step, in general, is very huge. A local Milwaukee agent is going to help you understand neighborhoods and pricing. They're going to help you write competitive offers to stand out or even get ahead of the pack and be very aggressive and probably even get the property for you even ahead of the competition. A good agent is going to help you avoid any bad inspections and help give you some guidance through any inspection contingencies on whether what you should or shouldn't negotiate for. Not to mention, help you navigate any city-specific issues like any older homes and any deferred maintenance that might come up, and how to kind of work around those sort of kinks in terms of a real estate transaction. And the good news, as a buyer, your agent is usually paid by the seller, so there's no reason not to have representation. And if you need a recommendation on a good real estate agent in Milwaukee, with no further, my name's William Loos. I'm the local agent out of the area making these YouTube channels out of Moving to Milwaukee channel. Give me a call today if you're looking to make a move to Milwaukee in 2026. My contact info is on the screen and in the description below. I look forward to meeting you and helping you make your step-by-step process into getting into a new home this year. Now, next on the list comes the fun part, which is touring homes. In Milwaukee, you'll notice a lot of charming older homes in some nice older neighborhoods. You might notice some unique layouts in some of these homes. You might notice some homes that might need some updates, and you might notice some others that are a little more move-in ready. So some of you might be able to put your personal touch on some updating. So if you like going through rehab and doing your own little interior design work and playing rehab addicts, then this could be some good opportunities for you in some places. And if you like appreciating some of the old charm like I do once in a while, then Milwaukee's gonna be a nice move for you. You're gonna really like what you have to see here. Now, just a little pro tip that try to separate some of the cosmetic issues from any of the major issues. Paves and carpets are easy things to take care of. Roofs, foundations, and electrical, not so much. So pay very special attention when it comes to touring and just seeing what you can identify as what could be simple and what may not be so simple. Of course, nobody has to be an extra general contractor to know these things either. A lot of these things you might be able to depict either right in the condition report noted by the seller or right more often than not in the inspection contingency. Now, you've toured a bunch of homes, you've seen some nice ones, you've seen some ugly ones, and you came across the one that you like, the right house. So what you do next is you write that offer. This is where strategy really matters. Your offer is going to include, in general, a purchase price of the home, the earnest money deposit, which is like a portion of your down payment up front, kind of like a security deposit to rent. It'll also include an inspection contingency if you wish for one. I never advise against one. It's important to know how the home functions. It's like test driving your car. It's like buying a car without test driving it first. So I always recommend getting an inspection to the home, not to mention your financing contingency to the home when it comes to having the lender approve the loan officially, and not to mention a timeline on how quick can we close this deal and hand you, the buyer, the keys to the home. Now, as I mentioned previously and in other videos, some homes around here in Milwaukee do go fast and will still go fast. Others may sit for a little bit. Now, the strategy may depend on the neighborhood, the condition, and the price point. So, going about your strategy may take a little bit of thinking and consideration. But that's what us as agents are here for as well, is to help you make those sort of guidance moves. And just to note, a good common mistake a lot of buyers might make is that they might either overpay emotionally or underbid, and they might lose the house if they're in a competitive situation. A good agent like me is going to help you find that sweet spot in between. Now, on to step number 6, the offer to your property, your dream home, is accepted. We schedule a home inspection. This is where buyers definitely learn much more about the home. You're not asking for necessarily perfection. You're looking to see if there's any major issues and any safety concerns that are wrong with the home. And just because you might find one little thing, that doesn't mean it's the end of the world with the home, but more often than not, in terms of a home inspection, if major issues come up or even some minor, that's where we can go back to the seller and negotiate some of these things out. Usually we can ask for these things to get fixed, or you could even bring them back in a form of a closing cost credit, which helps you save a little money at the closing table. A phrase that I've heard more often than not, even before I even got into real estate, is in real estate, everything is negotiable. And more often than not, even though I can't always speak for every single thing to be agreed upon, this phrase usually is not short of true. Now, over the hump of the inspection contingency, we've gone through our negotiations. Now we're looking into appraisal and the final loan approval. Now, lender will want to make sure the home is worth what you're actually paying. You wouldn't pay for a car that isn't worth X amount of dollars, and neither would you want to pay for a home that isn't worth what you're made an offer on. So if the appraisal comes in low, then that's a point to renegotiate the price, because a lender's not going to lend that high if they don't think it's that high because of the appraisal, where you can go in and adjust the purchase price or explore any sort of options. And even though it seems a little off, being that a lot of values have really accelerated in the past few years, this actually happens a lot more often than you think. So this is definitely an important contingency and step in the purchase as well as the financing process, so it should not go unnoticed. Not to mention, as long as the appraisal comes in higher than the purchase price, and as well everything looks good to the lender and gets that final loan approval, this is where you are officially approved for the mortgage, and this is where you can move right ahead to closing day. Step number 8. Closing day is when you sign all the paperwork, bring your funds, and officially become a homeowner. In short terms, in Wisconsin, closings are usually held by a title company instead of an attorney, like some other states might be. Every transaction is different. From there, you will walk out with the keys once everything is recorded. Now, when you come to closing, usually you're instructed to have any wire instructions proceeded when it comes to funds from the bank. Not to mention, best to bring your photo ID just to confirm identity. And not to mention, a lot of times when it comes to a down payment, you'll be wanted to bring those sort of funds to closing when it comes to that. And not to mention, be ready to sign any paperwork that is needed. This could be in terms of any lending paperwork for closing disclosures, and not to mention a signing of the deed when it comes to transfer of the title to the property. Now, even a common surprise to note is that buyers are often surprised by closing costs and the amount of paperwork. But no need to worry. Everything is usually explained step by step, even before the offer to purchase is written. So with that said, and the last step on my list is after closing. Now, buyers usually forget some of these things, so take note of this one. After closing, when you close on your property, make sure you change locks if necessary. It's not a needed sort of thing, but some people might feel that they want their own little sense of security. So if this is something you feel, then maybe it's a good thing to add to your to-do list. Also, in addition to that, you may want to contact the local utility company and set up your own account with utilities to make sure you get billed accordingly. Save your documents either physically or electronically, because you may need your closing documents down the road, or may have a good reference to them as well, even in your first couple months. If you're eligible, file for the Wisconsin homestead exemption. This is going to help protect your investment and help lower your tax. And last but most certainly not least, move in. It's your house now. You might as well move your things in there and call it yours. Also, one thing to note is to change your mailing address right away, because make sure all your mail is forwarded to your new address so that you start receiving the mail at the right location instead of the wrong one. The conclusion of this step-by-step guide, buying a house in Milwaukee does not have to be overwhelming when you understand the steps with it. If you're thinking about buying now or in the future and want help navigating the process, I'd love to help. My name is William Loos. I'm the local agent out of Milwaukee in Southeast Wisconsin. If you like this video and found it useful, be sure to hit like and subscribe and stay in the loop for when I release new content. Drop a comment if you'd like with your biggest home buying question, and reach out to me today to talk about your goals. And if you're looking to buy in Milwaukee, check the description below for how to get in touch. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.